Israeli airstrikes continued across southern Lebanon on Saturday despite a 45-day extension of a fragile ceasefire agreed just one day earlier. According to reports, Israeli strikes targeted at least 5 villages and triggered another wave of displacement, as residents fled towards the coastal city of Sidon and the Lebanese capital Beirut. Israel says it is targeting Hezbollah positions. However, the strikes were preceded by evacuation warnings covering 9 villages. The attacks have expanded in recent weeks, reaching areas north of the Litani River and locations farther from the border. Lebanon's state-run national news agency reported strikes on several villages, including one located more than 50 kilometers from the border. The Israeli military also struck at least one town near the southern city of Nabatieh that was not included in the evacuation warning. The latest violence comes just one day after Lebanon and Israel agreed to extend a ceasefire that originally began on April 17. The extension was brokered during negotiations in Washington between Israeli and Lebanese envoys, following the first direct talks between the two countries in decades last month. Despite the ceasefire agreement, Israel has continued carrying out strikes in Lebanon, while Israeli forces remain present in territory near the border. Hezbollah has also continued attacks, regularly claiming strikes on northern Israel and Israeli military positions inside southern Lebanon. On Saturday, Hezbollah said it targeted Israeli troops in the Lebanese town of Qaim, accusing Israel of violating the ceasefire and attacking villages in southern Lebanon. The human cost of the conflict continues to rise. According to Lebanese authorities, Israeli attacks since the beginning of the war have killed more than 2,900 people in Lebanon, including more than 400 deaths since the ceasefire took effect. Israel says 19 soldiers have been killed in southern Lebanon since the fighting began. On Friday, an Israeli strike hit the center of the Islamic Health Committee in the southern town of Haruf. According to Lebanon's health ministry, 6 people were killed in the attack, including 3 paramedics. For many displaced residents, the ceasefire has lost credibility. A displaced resident in Beirut said the truce was meaningless as long as Israeli attacks, deaths, injuries, and destruction continued in southern Lebanon. Another displaced resident said people in the south continued to support Hezbollah, questioning the value of the ceasefire while villages were still being threatened and residents displaced. Meanwhile, Lebanon's negotiating delegation in Washington welcomed the extension of the truce and the creation of a U.S.-facilitated security track. The delegation said the agreements would provide breathing space for civilians, strengthen state institutions, and support efforts towards long-term stability. The conflict widened on March 2 after Hezbollah launched rockets at Israel following the killing of Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei. On Friday, another Israeli strike hit the southern city of Tyre. An AFP correspondent reported extensive destruction near the city's ancient ruins. A local resident injured in the strike said entire neighborhoods had been destroyed and accused Israel of emptying southern Lebanon of its population. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has welcomed the extension of a ceasefire for Lebanon after the latest round of U.S.-mediated talks in Washington, D.C., Al Jazeera reports.